What's up, guys? Welcome back to another epic video. And today on Ask Qazi episode 2, we're going to be covering topics such as what's the best budget monitor for color grading, where should you set your black levels when exporting SDR content, and how to bring in popular photo color grading techniques inside Resolve. We're gonna cover all of that and then some. And before we do that, let's take a moment and thank our sponsor, Qazi's Toolkit, your one-stop shop to get high-end Hollywood quality looks in minutes. With QT, you don't have to be a pro to grade like one. And each parameter has guardrails, which means you can push the hell out of it without breaking anything. And by clicking the link in the description, you can save $200 off Qazi's Toolkit bundle. So check it out. And that said, if you're new to the channel, please do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's roll the intro. All right, so let's start with Ollie's question. In photo color grading apps, it's very common to use a gradient map on a soft light composite layer. This can produce beautiful harmonies and color separation. How would you create this in DaVinci? So I usually don't do this, but it's a fun experiment. So let's try it out. I'm gonna give you guys a link to this footage in log. It's shot in Alexa Mini. So I'm converting it to working color space. And then using my toolkit, Qazi's Toolkit, we ended up with this look, which is pretty sick. Now, in an ideal world, when you're creating an effect that we're about to do, I would recommend doing that right before your halation and your look DNA, okay? So basically, I'm using an example as my look DNA, but a lot of the look came from this. So you could be using Dehancer, Look Designer. You could be creating your own look using the native tools in Resolve, whatever you want to do. But apply this effect right before that, because your actual bones, like your actual look DNA, should not be touched in terms of like colors. The only things that should happen right after this node will be texture-based stuff that's happening right here, okay? And I can even turn on my grain. So like all the texture-based stuff comes later. That's totally fine. But I do not want to affect my colors after this node. So I'm going to go ahead, create a node right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in color generator. Drop that on. Now let's go ahead and select this color right here. And we're going to hit OK. And you're like, what the hell is going on, bro? You okay? I'm going to right click right here. I'm going to go under composite mode and I'm going to select soft light. It wasn't this easy with previous versions of Resolve. You can't just change the composite mode on a node. You had to like create a layer mixer and do all that jiggery pokery, but now it's super simple. So we can do it within the same node. So thank you, Blackmagic, for doing that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go under my qualifier and I'm going to create a crazy soft effect in my luminance key. And I'm going to start dragging it all the way to something like this. Since it's a music video, we're going for a look. Why not exaggerate it a little bit? So it's a pretty cool effect. Let's pop this open so we can really see what we're doing. So this is before, this is after. You're seeing the top end. I mean, we're affecting it quite a bit. I mean, it's a really nice look. So we're only adjusting our highlights, okay? So like, look at this. And especially if I do a black and white version, we can really see what I'm affecting, right? So like, we're only affecting the highlights. So let's come out of there and create a new node. And then in this one, I'm going to drop this on again, and I'm going to select a darker color, like say something like this. And that's going to be our split toning, right? That situation that's happening. We selected red on our top end, and now we're selecting blue on our bottom end. And I'm going to raise this up a little bit. And then let's create a high soft, similar to what we did with low soft, so around 25-ish. And then I'm going to start bringing it down to Well, let's go ahead and change the composite mode to soft light. So it's a lot more subtle, and we can keep it somewhere around here. And now what I like to do is let's go under the blend and split the difference. So 0.5. Okay, so we're at half intensity. I'm going to do the same thing here, half intensity. And then that way we can have more room, right? So we can come in a little bit more, even something like that. So now if I take these two, and if I do before and after, I mean, it's a pretty big difference. So first of all, thanks for your question, Ali, because I think this is a cool effect. I feel like this is something that I should start using more and more, because I before just hated how the mountains looked, and that color just didn't sit well with me. But like doing something like that and like bringing that warmth into the mountains in the background just makes it look so good. And then cooler tones on the bottom end just create such a natural split toning. So we can see what we're doing here, right, in the vector scope. So if I do before and after, and you can see the kind of split toning we're creating, and we can even see it right here in the waveform. So awesome, bro. This was kind of cool. So there you have it. This is how I would do it. And once again, in terms of the node tree, just do it right before your texture plus your look DNA nodes, okay? So do it right before then, but right after everything else. And let's move on to the next question. All right, and Jesse asked, love your content. Do you have tips for good color accurate monitors in the 1,000 euro price range? And the monitor that I picked for this particular example is the Asus ProArt PA32UC-RK. I don't know why monitors have these crazy names. But the reason why I picked this monitor is, one, you can pick up a used one for around $1,000. So it's going to keep you under your budget. But most importantly, let's go through the things that matter the most as a colorist. Size. 32 inches is great. Anything smaller than that, I feel like becomes kind of challenging when you really want to get up close and know and see every single thing that's happening on the screen. So 32 inches is perfect. It's 4K. I think 4K by now should be just the de facto. Anything less than 4K resolution, you're missing out big time. This covers 100% of sRGB and Rec. 709 color space, which is what I would recommend this monitor for anyways. You do not want to grade HDR content on this monitor, and the main reason behind that is the mini LED local dimming zones limited to only 576. HDR viewing, this is perfect because the peak brightness is 1000 nits. Color accuracy is second to none. So it is delta E of around 2, which is perfect. And it's a 10-bit monitor, which is, again, a bare minimum requirement when you're going to be using this monitor for color grading. And it's using a quantum dot technology, meaning that you're going to have a wide color gamut. Again, it's great for viewing purposes, but for grading, you'll probably put it in a sRGB or Rec. 709 preset. And above all, it comes with X-Rite i1 Display Pro, which on its own is about $200 worth. So that is included in this package, which makes it super compelling. So that would be my recommendation for a traditional style monitor for color grading. All right, Quentin asked, how above 0 should my black levels sit on the graph for an SDR release? So basically he's asking for where should I keep my black levels when I'm outputting SDR. So I want to start with showing you examples of professional work. So let's start with Joker. And I'm going to pop this open. And let's go to the next shot. And look at this. Check out the black levels. They're basically touching 0, okay? And that's what gives us this. The contrast is, chef's kiss, right? It's pushed. I love it. We all love Joker, right? Like pretty much anybody and everybody talks about how great this film looked. Jill Bogdanovich, the colorist, a good friend, absolutely killed it. So this looks gorgeous, okay? But what you need to understand is that the most important thing when it comes to setting your black levels is like the medium where it will be seen. If it's going to be seen in the theaters, if it's going to be a controlled release, I mean, it's going to be on Netflix, HBO, stuff like that, or you're going to watch it on a Blu-ray in highest quality possible, do what you want. But if it's going to be going on YouTube or will be watched online, you have to be very careful. This is where black levels matter a lot. Because if I go back in here and show you Asteroid City, a completely different example than Joker. Look at the black levels. This is supposed to be black. Not only it is sitting up here around 128, it's not even black, it's blue. Okay? That's the look that they went with. Look at the black levels. They're lifted. They're sitting around 128. They will always be sitting around 128. With color grading, it's not so much about it needs to be this or that, but whatever you commit to, you have to stay consistent. Color grading is more about consistency than say it needs to be this or it needs to be that, because it's subjective. So we get to create a look we want. I mean, look at how breathable this look is compared to Joker. Joker was really pushed, but they're both absolutely stunning, right? So now, keeping that in mind, let's come to our shot. Now, if this is going on the web, this is a music video, so most of the people are going to watch it on YouTube. And if that's where it's going, what I need to do is I need to make sure that my black points are pretty close to the bottom. Why? Because if I lift them too much, I'm going to have crazy amount of macro blocking. Nobody wants that. And artifacts. It's going to look really bad. Okay, so you're going to have tons of banding on the bottom end. So here's my look. And most of it is created with Qazi's toolkit. It's pretty pushed, especially because of this. Because this is a vignette that I created to basically mimic the light source. And that really puts our focus on our hero. But the problem that it creates is that the black levels are just too crushed. And that's too much. So I can go in my look DNA. And I can go in my black levels right here, black knits Y. And I can just like lift it up easily. Now, if I do the thing that happened in Asteroid City and keep it somewhere around here, I mean, in theory, it looks pretty good, right? Like if I do a playback, it looks pretty cool. But since you guys are watching this video on YouTube, I'm pretty sure you're already seeing tons of banding around here. And that's exactly what my point is. So because it's a music video, my recommendation is to keep it somewhere around 40-ish mark. And what I did is I clicked right here and I turned on show reference levels. So usually it's turned off. It's going to be like this. But if you click right here, you can turn on show reference levels. And look what I did on my low end. You see this little line? I set it to 40. So I can move it around and put it wherever I want. But I set mine to 40. And now if I come out and if I take my black levels and I just keep bringing it down close to this, it's good. Why? Because it still gives me really nice soft blacks, but it's not going to look horrible on YouTube and places where the compression is really crazy like Instagram. Yet, I'm going to keep a little bit of detail here. It's going to have like a filmic quality to it, and it's not going to look washed out or bad. And at the same time, it's not going to look super crushed. So these are my 2 cents when it comes to attacking your black levels in Resolve. Honestly, I had so much fun covering these questions. Please do me a favor, drop your question in the comment section below. Do not forget to take advantage of the $200 off Qazi's Toolkit bundle. Link is in the description. More importantly, you can download the free demo if you just want to play around with it and see if it's something that you're interested in. That said, guys, please do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, fam.